Welcome aboard to the Heavy Metal Truckers, and thank you for tuning in. We are your hosts.
Dumbass one and dumbass two. No, it's good.
We're gonna roll with it for this episode because I dig it. We are going to be checking out a new single, Judas Priest, Crown of Thorns, and I am so stoked for this because, oh my god, I need a palate cleanser.
What was the last song that they was from there? That we listened to? That they put out.
The first one was Panic Attack.
Yep, I remember
The
that.
second one was I'm drawing a damn blank.
Yeah, I am too. I can't remember. Trial by Fire. That was it. That was the second one. So was that the palate cleanser you hoped it would be?
Very much so, actually.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've heard a song fade out like that.
You and I
It
both.
used to be pretty common.
You and I both. That's why I kind of looked up. I'm like, oh, they went back to doing that. Cool.
Yeah, it used to be a common thing. You don't hear it very often anymore.
So, before we go into a discussion about like the track as a whole, for anyone that does not know or has not read Rob's book, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer in 2020, and he underwent surgery to have his prostate removed, and even then he still had lingering cancer that he managed to get rid of, but it took quite a long time. And so I think him coming out of that inspired him to write this, because I mean, it wasn't all that long ago that it happened. And if you read his book, he is without a doubt religious. Like he even says it himself, like without it he doesn't know where he'd be. I'm pretty certain that's what this is a reference to.
Yeah, I mean, obviously not the cancer thing, but you could. I mean, it was clear as day this had religious undertones. There's no way you couldn't pick up on that. Yeah,
exactly.
I enjoyed the song, but I didn't love it. I found myself starting, at least mentally, ADHD, ADD, whatever, starting to wander a little bit towards the second half. It's a very catchy song.
It is very reminiscent of Rising from Ruins.
Like, it was a good song, but at the same time, I didn't love it. It was just, it's a step above what I would consider like a filler almost. For me, I do get the feeling, especially if what you said is true, it's probably a song that holds a lot of meaning for him.
Yeah.
And I could sense that, and you could almost kind of hear it too as he was singing
absolutely.
it. It's definitely an emotional song in a sense that it's not in your face. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think
It's almost like he wrote it more for himself.
Yeah. And, I could see this song for people who've been through some shit being able to really connect to it. So I can see it being pretty popular in that regard, especially.
Oh, yeah.
There were a couple times in here, too, where he sounded a little bit like Ozzy. I don't know if that was just me.
I know, I caught it too. This is the third single we've had from Priest, and I'm not really someone that likes singles because it takes things out of context from the album, and you don't know what kind of feel the album actually has or what kind of energy that it holds, and so we may think that up until now everything's been weaker than we expected, but it could actually be extremely powerful once we hear it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And each song, none of them have been bad, but they've each had something that kept them from...
I don't want to say mediocre, but for their standard, it fell linear.
Yeah, well, like the first song was the chorus.
Yeah.
Second song, I can't remember well enough I remember bits of it.
It's been a while since we've heard it.
Yeah, and then this one, this was definitely a more emotional song, and like I said, it's a good song. It just it didn't. It's not one, and it could that sticks with me, and it could be just because I haven't been through what he's been through or some of the shit that other people have been through.
I greatly enjoyed it just because, for one thing, I'm not someone that cares for anything slow. I don't like it. But whenever you have the energy that this one had, for me, it kept me pulled in.
Yeah, see, and I don't mind slow songs at all.
And also, it was the lyrics, and for the first time in quite a long time, I'm sitting here trying to decipher what the meaning was behind his lyrics, because Rob is definitely someone that he doesn't just write it to write it. He holds meaning to what he says, even if it might be just kind of basic or just a little too straight to the point for some people, and it doesn't have the depth or whatever. It's just straightforward, and you don't necessarily all the time need something that's just where things are subliminal. So I really enjoyed the groove this one had, and it makes me really want even more. Well, I say want. It makes me very excited to get hold of this album because I've already pre-ordered it. But I'm very intrigued to see what the rest of the album holds because so far it's not been up to the energy and power that I've come to know from Priest, but there might be a reason, and I'm even more intrigued to see what that reason is. Because, I mean, so far this is, I can't sugarcoat it, this is a drop off from Firepower for me, but I think, again, I highly recommend anyone that is remotely fascinated by Priest or enjoys listening to them, read Rob's book. I just finished it not long ago, and it's fucking incredible. So with that being said, I'm beginning to wonder if this album is going to be an album of reflection. Because, I mean, Ozzy just had one. And so I'm like, now it's Rob's turn. I really enjoyed this one. I'm really looking forward to the album. I would have to say, in order, I prefer Panic Attack would probably be the top one for me. Then this. Well, Panic Attack and this one are kind of tied. And then the Trial by Fire, from what I recall, it'd probably be the weakest one for me, but still not bad. So, yeah, that was our perspectives on this single.
I will also say that I think it was Panic also. The intro to this one I felt like dragged on a hair too long.
I kind of pretty well enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, yes, it did go on a little bit longer, but the intro to Panic Attack was fucking forever as well.
It was. It really was.
So, I mean, unless Richie and Glenn are, like, taking the time to try and see if they can just have a good jam on things, then I have no idea.
All right.
Yeah, that was that, and until next time, keep rolling heavy.